Let's get right to NVIDIA, moving higher after beating on both the top and the bottom line, also nearly doubling sales year on year. Yesterday on the earnings call, Jensen Huang did reiterate the strong demand for AI.
The age of AI is in full steam. Generative AI is not just a new software capability, but a new industry with AI factories manufacturing digital intelligence, a new industrial revolution that can create a multi-trillion-dollar AI industry. Demand for Hopper and anticipation for Blackwell, which is now in full production, are incredible.
Jim, everyone wants to talk Blackwell, but even some of the Hopper guidance was surprisingly good.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is one of those situations where whatever you can get from them, you'll take. That can be very stark because you may not be able to get the first-ranked stuff. I think that there are multiple customers. Look, I want to step back for this in a second. I've never seen anything like this. There are multiple customers who would buy everything they have. When I say everything they have, I don't mean like, hey, you know what, I really want some. I mean like, I will take everything you have. And the customers that we're talking about are customers that we all know. And they are not doing it in order to be able to say, because the other guy may have it. There's going to be a winner-take-all, loser-take-none aspect. But the main thing is that everybody has something that they feel they can make 5 to 1 on. You know, I'll pay you $40,000. I'll make $200,000. And David, when I say I've never seen anything like it, what I mean is that this is a different order of company that we've ever seen in our years together, because it's really reinventing. No, it's not. It's creating a whole new industry. And in order to understand it, you have to do things that you've never done before. Like, for instance, I put in. Jensen says something that's rather I don't mean to go on too long, but Jensen's talking about something that he likes, a Google product that he's just constantly on. I mean, a good example.
Same thing that Benioff said the other day.
I talked to Mark about it. Absolutely. And what you do is like you input, tell me what's so great about this conference call. And, here it is. I mean, I've got it. This is it.
Okay.
Well, all we asked, this is Jeff Marks. We put in, give us the highlights. This is the product that Jensen said he loves to talk to.
Oh, you used the Google product to actually go over the conference call.
Well, he was using the living daylights out of it.
Because thank you, Carl, because I used the living daylights out of it, so I did it. And I got 5 pages of just the quick distillation. If someone said, pick your best 5 pages. I don't mean to wax too authoritatively on this. I will say this. That when the stock was at 140, 141 this morning at 3:30, I was going to town on whatever they call it now.
We noticed.
Just saying, listen, what are you, clows? It's just short-selling clowns with 100 and 200 shares. Because this thing is not anything I've ever seen.
And, of course, what you were using from Google is generating what it does on their.
Yeah, it's like kind of a hall of mirrors. But, when I spoke to the company after for about a half hour, and what they're talking about, first of all, the story that came out this weekend about burning too hot, they used some words that I was surprised. They said, it's a lie. Now, that's hard. That's where you go to jail. When you lie about financials, journalists, whatever, it's a lie. I would not want to commit a lie against this company. There was no heat issue.
You don't believe that because they deny it. So you believe them and you don't. I mean,
I believe.
Even you said there are probably people within the company talking to the information.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. But if you go to a reseller, a wrapper, a packager, of which there are 3, right? Supermicro and Dell and HPE, they did not report any overheating. So it's entirely possible that you bought something, you got something, and you souped it up and you overheated it.
I see.
But, David, it's a serious charge to say that story was a lie and they couldn't do anything about it because they were in quiet. I do not want to be affiliated with a lie, and anyone else who's affiliated with it, I think, is suspect.
Yeah, no, you never feel good as a journalist when a company calls you out in that way.
No,
That's
you
for
don't.
Sure, and it's something you want to avoid.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the actual quarter itself and what it means for the future. $37.5 billion in revenues in terms of guidance for fiscal fourth quarter of 25. I mean, let's just talk a little math here. Obviously, yes, we've never seen anything like it. What do they do? 94 billion in revenue. They're on a run rate of over 100 billion.
A lot of revenue.
A 94%, increase. First time in 5 quarters, so they didn't have more than a triple-digit increase in
I know, it was very
revenue growth.
There were clowns who were actually like clowns. I don't mean that. I mean chowderheads.
But your point is simply the demand for Blackwell is undiminished. It will take this product throughout its ramp. There will be endless demand for it.
Yes, and then every year, they're going to get back on the every year. They'll have Rubin, which is much more powerful than this. But
Rubin's next?
Yeah, from Philly, Rubin.
Got it.
But when I say, there was a lot of stories last night. I just want to dispel. I want to tell people why that stock got to 141, because there's a lot of people at home thinking, how come it's at 148? Well, the story at 141, the stories that were run at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. were how they missed guidance. But there was no guidance. So how did they miss it?
I mean, to the degree there was hair on the quarter, people are looking at networking down 15 quarter on quarter.
Okay, that was a glitch. It was a timing glitch. It'll be right back up. Ben Righteous will tell you that at 10:05 today. Ben asked a question about longer-term guidance. I love Ben. That was a question not as well received by Colette Kress as I thought it would be. And Colette Kress is the CFO, who, by the way, David, may I just say, in terms of being intimidated by people?
Yes.
I always feel like I'm back in Mrs. Turoff's class in 4th grade when she gave me a B and my father told me I was a disgrace. It changed the whole course of my life.
Explains a lot.
Mrs. Turoff.
Explains a lot. You've been trying to prove her wrong ever since.
Yeah, exactly.
You've almost done it, Jim. You're almost there.
No, my father still wouldn't approve, even wherever the hell he is. 10 years ago he died. He's still with me. He's still thinking in my mind. He was like, Jim, you didn't know how to speak to Colette Kress. Call her back and tell her, apologize that you weren't up to speed.
All right, back to the CFO of NVIDIA.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Need I digress?
Meanwhile, Jim, they're
$300 an hour for the psychoanalysis. What do I get for it? Ends at 10:05.
Get what you pay for.
Meanwhile, some interesting pieces on the tape, Jim, about Jensen's world tour. We saw a piece of it in Japan, and the notion that he is looking to dig into that sovereign story and rely less on the big 4 hyperscalers here.
You know what? The Dead Poets Society, whatever that thing that Taylor Swift did that's supposed to help Target, this was much better. Now, what's most interesting, this is just a predilection that Jensen has, because he doesn't want jingoism, he doesn't want xenophobia, he wants people to be able to say, okay, listen, we have our own language. The problem is that how do you then therefore divvy up when Mark Zuckerberg says, I need Meta AI the best? What do you say to Andy Jassy, CEO of Amazon?
Yes.
When he says, listen, I spent $8 billion on this Alexa, and she's not conversational. And you say, listen, Fred, you give me for Blackwell. When you say, have you ever tried to say, I want Gershwin symphonies on? Okay, I like your Gershwin symphony, or American in Paris, and then it says it has to charge you for the movie American in Paris. That's over. It will know. If you want to ask for Beethoven's piano concertos and it starts playing the sonatas with the Alfred
You use
Brendel,
this example a lot.
But it drives me. Okay, well, look, let's go with Mozart with the Jupiter. It doesn't know Jupiter from Mars, the damn thing. But now it'll ask you. Conversation. And by the way, when you come down, it'll say, Jim, you have an 8 o'clock, and then you have a 9 o'clock. Don't forget your psychoanalysis with David. And you can... What's the matter? But it's conversational, and it's back and forth. And that's what Jensen's talking about. That's why one of the things we talk about inning one, we don't have conversational back and forth right now with Alexa. She's disgusting.
I wouldn't. That's kind of rude.
Okay, stupid.
All right, that might be more accurate.
I don't want to get too personal.
Yeah.
But that's what happens.
That will change.
And it's a whole new industry because the industry now is based on CPUs and coding. Now you can just talk to it. One of the great moments was they have things that they're going to make it so that lawyers... Not clear we need them. Not clear we need them.
You don't need the lawyers?
Well, you don't need anybody between a first year and a third year associate. Those people cost $200,000.
Yeah, but you're going to need them when they get older, so you got to kind of keep them to go through the first, second, and third years.
Oh, okay. So all right, I'll let you go with that somewhat. A new industry of AI factories, manufacturing digital intelligence, industrial revolution.
Yes.
These are things that are not constrained by a price to earnings multiple. I feel like an idiot. Price to earnings multiple. What are you like? I'm small. The TV got small. Here it is, digital marketing intelligence like Riders. How about Harvey for digital artist intelligence? How about Runway? I mean, these things are but he says they're not disruptors, they're additive. But when I read these, if people in professions read this one paragraph.
All right, but nobody has any idea what you're telling them. You're just reading bizarre names. Harvey.
Well, Harvey, it's like the play with Jimmy Stewart. Okay. You're not there.
No, I'm not on you with that one.
Are you Harvey? Oh, come on. You know Harvey. Jimmy Stewart? No? No. It's older. It's older than we are.
His cultural knowledge is really.
Come on, I think I have decent cultural knowledge. I mean, no, I can't compete with you or with you. That is true.
No, with Carl, no one competes with Carl. No one competes with Carl.
All of this kind of ties into some of the Fed commentary we got yesterday regarding AI and productivity. Yardeni's, now it's a roaring 30s thesis from Ed.
The roaring 30 wasn't all that roaring to my parents, but now I will say that when I read the op-ed piece,
30s, did you just
when I read the Doge op-ed piece, from on high,
yeah.
I mean that's like, by the way, now I'm going to give them something. They are saying that right now we are praying to the golden calf. Dothan is playing it. That's what we're doing right now.
You want me to do Edward G. Robinson?
Yes, I want you to do Edward G. Robinson, one of the finest art collections ever, and he gave it to the Israeli Museum.
Really?
Gave it to the Israeli Museum. It's pretty dynamite.
I did not know that.
But go ahead, because these guys are saying we're paying the false gods.
Where is your God now, Elon? There you go. You like that?
He did it. That op-ed is so based on the Chevron decision, not the Chevron quarter, which was pretty damn good.
Right.
But the Chevron decision was basically eviscerated agencies. I've been waiting for someone to take advantage of that. Well, this is like, okay, we were allowed to eviscerate agencies. It has to go back to Congress. The Constitution backs us.
Actually, there's a big piece by Dalio in Time, which basically compares Trump to a corporate raider, in Ray's words, engaging in a hostile takeover, infusing new technologies into government, slashing costs, removing the people.
And the line that they use, we all think that civil service is protected, but they say a reduction in force is not protected. So if you wanted to have a reduction in force for everybody who doesn't work at the office, they're saying that could be constitutional.
Yeah.
Well, that's radical.
Well, they're citing any number of different things in the op-ed. We're talking about, obviously, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's op-ed in the Journal, which we referenced at the top of the program, in which they do detail some of their plans for that new Department of Government Efficiency. And they do talk about relying on a 1974.
Wasn't that
Impoundment Control Act.
Impoundment Control. We want to go Nixon? I'll go Nixon.
And generally talking about, restructuring many things and all of the rules that have taken place that they claim were undemocratic because they were not actually voted by Congress, but simply by what they would call sort of bureaucrats, so to speak.
Right.
We'll see whether they're successful in reaching that deadline of July 4th, 26, in terms of really cutting both the regulations and the people and the actual expenditure, Carl, that they're talking about, as much as, $500 billion, I believe.
Right. Meanwhile, PIMCO, big note this week saying, be careful on some of these grandiose pledges, they argue. If you were to wipe out the Department of Education, that's 4,000 jobs. Total federal workforce is 2.3 million, right? How much can you operate around the edges?
Yeah, it's the usual hack. The corporate broadcast, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has been a piñata for years, right?
It's international aid, and it's Planned Parenthood, the $300 million a year.
But they referenced the military budget.
They did, the $800 billion plus, and whether that can, and then, of course, there was the, which we've seen as a strategy before, come back to work. And if you don't want to come back to work 5 days a week, then maybe you don't want to work here.
No, by the fireplace.
And so that, and we talked about that a lot when we spoke with Chair Gensler at the SEC in front of his fireplace in terms of the SEC staff. But they do talk about requiring 5 days a week. And it is one way to make sure that they come back.
David, they own the Supreme Court. You forgot to mention they own it.
6-3, yeah.
It's a subsidiary of the executive branch.
They're going to use the Chevron.
I got to get Mike Worth on the phone.